Okay, good afternoon all. Hope everyone's had a nice, relaxing weekend away. Doesn't seem like a Monday for some reason. It seems like a Tuesday. It's a bit odd. Okay, so relatively low volume overnight. Market is just open. So hope everyone is had a great weekend and ready for business. So Karina, good morning to you. Okay, so I'm only trading some of my accounts today. Couple of my Apex accounts and 5 my Tradify accounts. So I'm waiting for $3,000. Well, I'm a fraction over from 3 of my accounts, which I put in late on Friday. So they're a bit slow, Apex, at the moment. Whether it's probably just because of the weekend or not, I don't know, but we'll see. So we got a channel here with a break, 2 pushes to a new high. So it's hard to know at the moment whether there's a channel going up and this is going to continue or whether just a pop out. It does kind of look like some kind of move up, but it's just a little bit too early. Excuse me. Might be a shorter stream today. I'm not sleeping very well at the moment. Probably ended about 4 hours last night, so I did try and have a quick half an hour before the stream, but I just couldn't sleep, so might be short stream. So let's see what happens here. Let me just draw micro. Daryl, how you doing, pal? So a little micro there with a break. Armanas, good morning. So we are well into November now. I can't believe how quick this year has gone. I mean, it's going to be Christmas shopping next, isn't it? It's crazy, really, isn't it? And then the Christmas break. Mad, isn't it? So channel break, new low. Is this thing going up or is it coming down? Not sure. Quick look at bookmap. It's a bit mixed at the moment. There's definitely more orders further up. But there is some here, some further down as well. So at the moment, it's just a little bit uncertain what I think. There's orders at 900, which is right on top of this. So channel break, new low. We may have a bounce here, and it may well push up. It's hard to say, but we got orders down here and down here. But obviously, then we got to rely on the aggressive buyers and sellers. So if I had to take a rough guess, I'd say it's going to bounce off 900, which means it's going to stop this bull bar and it's going to bounce right on top of there, and then quite possibly move up some more. That's just call it a rough guesstimate. But it kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Down across. You can see those orders down there at 900. I mean, if this thing's going to bounce and push higher, it makes perfect sense that it bounces right where I've got that line. And funnily enough, that's right on 900 or near enough. 9.25, somewhere about there. Could have been up or down. It's a bit irrelevant, really. But that is kind of getting... what should I do? When I'm trying to draw a channel, it appears on the top right of my... Again, I'm trying to draw a channel. It appears on the top right of my screen. I'm not too sure there, mate. What I would do is just reboot it. Just shut Ninja down and open it again. Sometimes you can get a little... sometimes it just now and again it can be a bit temperamental. It does happen once in a while. I find usually just shutting it down. That might help. Drawing tools are all messed up. Yeah, I'd give it a shutdown if I was you, mate. Reboot it and then see what it looks like then. Okay, so we've hit that 900 level. Now, really, we just need to see what's going to happen, see whether we get a reaction here or not. But as I say, there are orders kind of down below and there are orders high up as well. So funnily enough, there's some sell orders coming in now as well. You can see them just there, which are... Now, they've been picked up, so whether that's going to push him down or whether it's going to absorb them, that very much depends on the aggressive buyers and sellers. You can see at the moment we're a bit kind of stuck, aren't we? Just temporarily. If there's more sellers than buyers, price will come down. See, there's big sell orders at 250, which is up here. So from what I'm seeing, this thing may come down a bit first. You can see those lump of now that big lump of red sellers there, that got yanked. So I believe companies do that from time to time, whether it's companies or large individuals, but they put an order in, and as we know, price moves always equality, and then it gets yanked. Spoofing or something they call it. I don't fully understand how it all works, but I booted 9-inch to track my PC. Yeah, that's the best thing to do. It's kind of like unplugging it and trying it again, isn't it? But, Disco, how you doing, bud? There are orders here now at 95 and some down 90, so there's a leg and a leg, so your guess is as good as mine. I got a bit mixed feelings, but when I can see orders there short and orders there short, then maybe this thing's going to come down a little bit. It's hard to say at the moment, but nothing I can do here. I got mixed feelings whether this is going up or down. It's starting to look like it's coming back into this range. Trouble is, we had that bounce here and it shot straight out. So, nothing we can do here, really. Yeah, just give it a shutdown. That's the first thing I ever do if I have issues, is just reboot the thing and see if it helps. And if not, then, process of elimination. So, I'm not sure about news today. It's showing here we've got news, but on Jan's thing, it's showing we haven't. Not too sure. In fact, probably should just have a check. Let's just have a look on Forex Factory calendar. Yeah, we have ISO manufacturer. I don't know why that's not showing it for some reason. But yeah, we've got news at 3 o'clock, some medium and high impact news, so about 20 odd minutes. Yeah, if anybody just want to keep an eye on news now and again, KQ, how you doing, bud? Just here. All I use is Forex Factory. Usually, I mean, I have two lots of news here. I have Jan's thing and this, so usually, but that's showing it. That isn't for some reason, so I just had a quick look and you can see them there. All I'm really interested in is the US news, but you can see at 3 o'clock, as this is shown, we got some high and medium. I think ISM, that's probably going to move a little more, but after that, that's it for today. So one or two traders have taken the failure there. I'm just not sure at the moment whether this is going to trigger and bounce. So I left it. You never quite know if there's a channel up there and it's going to channel break new low and then push up. We have had a new low, but then we get that bull bar and it comes down, but it wicks back a little bit. And then we've got about 4 bars side by side now, usually down, across and down. But as we're so close to the top here, you don't know whether we're going to bounce and push up. There's just not enough points for me, depending on where you get in there. There's just not enough points just in case it does bounce. So I'd expect, we're at the midline now, I'd expect a little pullback here. Now, if I look at Bookmap, you can see there are some orders around about the 93, which is around about here. We're getting close to the bottom here around the midline. So there is some orders there about 93. So if I put a line there at 93, that is right there. At 93, maybe a touch higher. The thicker the bit is here, so let's call it 93.5 for argument's sake. Let's just push straight through. They're a bit weak, those orders. You can see them. I'm just trying to come up with an idea where what I pay attention to and what I don't. The darker ones are definitely worth paying attention to. These lighter ones aren't as strong. And I noticed there are some there, and they faded, and you can tell it just couldn't get back there. So maybe just pay less attention to the whiter colours and more attention to the deeper colours. So I'm waiting for $3,000 in payments for 3 Apex accounts, which I put in Friday. That would take my tally for the year then over 50,000, about 52,500. So it'd be nice to even just 60,000 this year, to be honest with you. I've definitely had a rocky year, but it's improving. I'll have done 2.5 times this year what I did last year, and 2.5 times last year what I did the year before. So that could mean next year, could be really nice. So I like that channel there. Looks okay to me. So I'm going to adjust this a bit down to there. It's coming down a lot steeper than I first thought there. So I like that. Touch, 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 touch. That's fitting nice there. Looks nice on there as well. So if we can get a couple of legs back up. There are orders on the pullback. We want to really get to 90 before I consider taking it, and there really isn't anything that strong. You can see this is quite weak. There are some at 92.5, but that's far up there. But are they strong enough? This thing seems to be just pushing down. You can see those aggressive sellers. There's 6 million odd compared to 4 million. So there's more aggressive sellers at the moment. Seem to be pushing this thing down, so that makes sense. They are evening up a bit now. This thing hasn't got any signs of pulling back. There are some, but they're not super strong at 92.5, which would be around about there. But to be honest with you, I'd have expected them while the EMA was up here, around about here. And you can see they were yellow a minute ago, the 92.5. They're white now, which is telling me a lot of the orders are getting yanked, so it's becoming less of interest. Everything's quite weak here. So price is aiming towards 75, which is actually right at the bottom. So we may get a small break, but I don't think it's going to pull back. I think it's just going to continue down unless any of these orders start to pick up a little bit. I can't see this thing pulling back. It's quite strong at the minute. So it may just continue down. So we got what looks like a small break, but it didn't go in nowhere, is it? It just hasn't got the legs. Okay, there is one there, maybe 86.5, but it's just not going to be close enough to that there. It's trying to pull them up, but it's struggling really. So if I wanted to take a trade, see, it's going to have to be up here, and there's just nothing strong enough to pull price up. still a few more aggressive sellers than there are buyers. So my gut feeling is this thing's probably just not going to do much before it continues down. Yeah, there was some here, but look how it's gone black now. There's just nothing up there. That's telling me this thing's likely to continue down. Especially we've got more aggressive sellers at the moment. All orders here, a lot of the orders have disappeared. How come? There is some news coming up, isn't it? But it's a bit early to do that, I think. But so I can't see this getting anywhere near the EMA, to be honest with you. Oh, well, there you go. Look, we had a couple of little breaks, big bearish bar, so it just couldn't get up. It's pretty strong, this. So 75 is the next level, I'd say, which is around about there. So unless we get any stronger sellers here drawing this back, I think this thing will probably continue down. Well, okay, so we're getting more aggressive buyers coming in here. You can see there, can't you? See, if you watch this, you look at this and you watch this, it does give you an indication of what's going on. This went very black here. Now, there are some people dropping in trades there because there are, you know, up to 90 and 85. So there are traders saying, if price gets back up here, I'll sell that to continue down. So they are coming slightly, but they're just not very strong. And now the aggressive buyers and sellers have evened out. So I don't think this is going to get back to the EMA. I think it's just going to continue down and drop. Unless this changes or unless we get a few more passive sellers. But you can see it's coming out and it's just starting to tip, isn't it? It's just not strong enough at the moment. So now, depending on how this starts to look, if the look of it changes, see if it starts to go sideways, you may get more orders coming in there because that's the type of trade I'd be looking for. So let's see, where's this EMA at the moment? So the EMA at the moment is around about 86.25. Let's see if we get orders coming there for 86.25, this kind of area. Okay, so you can see strong buyers have pushed that up. There's not enough sellers there to bring price up there. Aggressive buyers have done that. I've tried, Stu, a few times. I just find it works. It flickers around a bit for me. It's a bit scary. I'm a bit of a coward, mate, when it comes to trading. I've been trading the S&P now for 4.5 years straight. So I am kind of used to it, but I have tried a few times. I do trade it when I'm trading evaluations because you don't need as much as a move. But yeah, I tend to avoid it, mate, purely because I'm a coward. I like things a little bit slower. So there is a second entry short there. It is at the EMA. At the moment, I'm just sitting tight here. I don't think there's enough sellers up here to draw price up, so it may just drop. Something doesn't look right here. 83, okay. Yeah. You can see their orders up around 87 to 92, but they're quite weak, so I think this thing is just going to push down. If we can get it does look like two kind of legs. If we can get a lower high here, it might not be terrible. But all these orders here are kind of white and faded blue. If they were strong like this, price will more likely push to them. Now, obviously, you've got to take into consideration the aggressive. You know, if there's not enough to pull up to the sellers and there's aggressive sellers now, price won't get up. It'll just continue down. Let's look at this chart. Yeah, so see if we get another attempt. I don't think we will at the moment. There is a few buyers coming in here, so it may trigger below this bar and push up again. But then you're getting aggressive sellers coming in now, which seems to be stopping that from happening. There's a bullish bar in a small higher low there. Yeah, the strongest sell orders up here, passive sellers I can see, are 92.5, but they're just not strong enough to get price up. Look what price is doing. It's coming down. Look, aggressive. There's twice as much aggressive sellers at the moment. It's shifting a bit, but it's just not strong enough, I don't think, to push this up. Now, we hit that and pull back a bit. Now, I don't think that's anything to do with aggressive buyers and sellers. I think that's people taking profits, I think. And then down we come. Yeah, it's just not strong enough to pull. So I think if I'm thinking about I'm going to wait till price gets back here, the blue and the light blue and the white just aren't strong enough. So if you get a decent setup here, I'd be inclined to take that. But we didn't really. There is a second entry short. It's not terrible. I'd have much preferred it to trigger above that, but I just let it go. So channel down with a break and a new low. So that channel now is played out. So coming down now to where those orders are. As you can see, they're still there. 70, which is down here, and the other ones I think we mainly looked at was 75, right where I got that line. We may get a small pullback, breakout pullback, trap some longs and come down. Could possibly get a setup, breakout pullback. See how it's triggered that bull bar. Strong orders at 75. That's where price will come to, I think, based on what I'm seeing at the moment. Little test of this bottom. Might have a go at that. Strong there at 75. Could be something like that. We need a little second entry short here. Come on, have a test of this. See, there's not enough orders up here to sort of draw up price unless you get aggressive buyers. We'd have to get above that bearish bar there, trigger out some stops, then I'd consider having a go. But so let's just have a quick look here. There is some there. So if it triggers above this bearish bar, get up a bit, we may get a second entry short. I'd like it to hit there, ideally. They have been taken out, those orders. They were just yellow. They came in here somewhere. Just not enough to pull it up a bit higher. That may come down. You've got a bullish bar there and a higher low. Trouble is, there's no room to the lows. I would have wanted it to trigger that, but I do believe it'll come down. Trouble is, look at that. It's 13 ticks. It ain't finished yet. We're already at the lows, more or less, so there's just nothing we can do there. It's just happened quick, that. So there's a few more aggressive sellers here. Not enough. We're coming down to this 75, so probably profit takers here. May call that back up a little bit. Yeah, I'm confident it will at that level. So another little breakout. Yeah, come on, get up. Give us another little breakout and a second entry short. That'd be great, that. But I don't think it will. There's not enough strong buyers up here to call price up. and it's quite even there. So yeah, that's it. Nothing you can do. So it's hit that, which I expected it. You see them orders start to disappear now. There they go. So we kind of know this. This is a good indication of where price is going. They're a lot stronger here. See all the blues and the darkers. It just wasn't strong enough to pull price back. And then all of a sudden it dropped. So this definitely helps. No arguments. Okay, so it's showing the news now. It just must have just popped up. So let's move that out of the way. So it just goes to show that looking at Bookmap can help you make better decisions. So the thing is, I looked at that. I ummed and ahed about that. If it triggered above a little bit, I would have taken it. And part of the reason I would have taken it is because up here we didn't have much in the way of strong sellers. Sorry. So there was there was nothing really going to draw that up. I just thought the bar, it's kind of an inside bar. I preferred it a little bit higher and the top of that here, in which case I would have had a go at that. Oh, well, Sam, you frightened the shit out of me. Shush. I need no underwear. Dogs give you heart attacks sometimes. News, yeah. How do some of the buyers and sellers? I'll show you. You look to the right. This is where price is at the moment. Everything above price are sellers, are passive sellers. Everything below it. So down here, you can see it's green. There are buyers down here. Yeah. Excuse me a sec. Okay. So, yeah, see how this is all going black now? A lot of orders are getting yanked because of the news. Yeah, but where price is, orders above that are red, you can see they're passive sellers. Orders below, passive buyers. So news is coming up in about 2 minutes. It's a bit smaller. Yeah, a lot of orders are getting yanked. There is some suicidal traders still there, but they'll start to fade them. 70. Okay, so 2 minutes. Be interested to see whether they're strong orders, them. So I'm guessing they're traders with big pockets, so I'm guessing they probably know what they're doing unless it all gets yanked. So buyers, fraction below 70 there, which is here. So let's put that there and just see what happens. Now, you don't know. Sometimes you'll see these orders there, and when price gets close to them, they disappear. I call that spoofing or something. I understand a little bit. This should start to go black in a minute. I wouldn't have all that, but those orders there with this news coming up now. When's the news? 1 minute. I'm guessing a lot of this will probably get yanked. Unless price is lower. I suppose if you know what you're doing. Well, this is nothing to do with retail traders. I don't think this anyway. I suppose if you're going to buy right down at the bottoms here, that would make sense. We did have a little gap there, but it got filled. It was overlapped by that bar there, and it just touched it. Got filled. Okay, news is coming up in about 15 seconds. Little Hammer, how you doing, bud? Okay, it doesn't look like it's going to do a lot, actually. So if I was looking to buy here, my thought process would, there's strong buyers down here. Now, if they're strong enough, price is more likely going to come down here. So if I decided to go long here with those below me, there's no guarantees. If you get enough aggressive buyers, price will go up regardless of whether these are down here. But my guess is with those below my order, I would want to stay away from there. So there you go. So if you would have got into a bar here, a trade here, it pushes straight down. Now I'm pretty sure that get down to those orders unless they get pulled. Can't see it really, but there's that order. Boom, there we go. So the good thing is when you see strong orders below where you're going to go long, just be aware of that. I've taken trades before thinking, yeah, 3 touches, let's have a go here. But then if you look on Bookmap, you see a stack of orders where your stop is. I'd avoid them. So there is orders slightly lower as well. So I expect this to go down a touch more. Did it? In fact, did it hit 70? I don't think it quite did it? Did it? Oh, it did. They're a little bit lower. There's some more lower. Yeah, there we go. Should pick them up. They're late. So if I was looking to go long here, my thought process, there's a ton of orders. Well, a fair amount of orders below here. So my stop's going to be here. So while they're there, I wouldn't be taking a long here. Now, there's no guarantees. If there's strong buyers, price will push up. But for me, that is a red flag that they're below where my stop is now. It may push up back to the EMA. It may continue up. If there's a strong amount of buyers there, regardless of where the passive orders are, it'll still push up. But I'm sitting tight here. In fact, there may start to be a kind of different downtrend here anyway. You're looking for a long, just wait for the second entry, long above the EMA cause of it. Yeah. It is a balancing act, isn't it, by passive orders and aggressive orders as well. But I will be waiting here at the moment because for me, there's more chance of price getting to that level. But that obviously depends on the aggressive buyers and sellers. So let's just shove that out of the way a minute. Let's have a bit of a zoom out. Yeah, let's have a look. Yeah, I'd say price is going to come below here at the moment. May end up having something else down here. As I say, there's no guarantees. If there's enough aggressive buyers pushing them up compared to the aggressive sellers sat down below, it'll more likely go up. But my gut feeling is there's not enough buyers at the moment compared to sellers when you got these passive orders down here. So there's a first entry. Yeah, they're quite even, aren't they? So my guess is price is going to come down. I just wouldn't take a trade at the moment here. It's a little bit, we pushed up and gone a bit sideways, so we could do this, pop out the top, come down. But well, they're drawing price down. See, I'd be interested in something like that, although I don't think we're going to get it. There are orders around about the 77, which is up here, but they're not very strong. So those orders, I'd say, are about 68.5, 69, which were there now, I think. We've taken them. Yeah. You can see those orders have gone now. It smashed straight through them, basically. So there is more down here. So this is starting to look like it could be a channel down. There's not enough orders up here. There's stronger orders down there. So that's down there at 60, which, as we know, round numbers make a difference, which is down here. So I think there's a good chance this channel could continue down. Just can't see enough up here. You're naturally going to see traders taking profits down here, you know, at the bottoms, which I suppose gives it that little bit of momentum up. But there's not enough buyers up here to cause that market to go up strong enough, really. So this does look like now it's working down, doesn't it? So we know we got orders at 60, which is there. Let's have a look back here. So yeah, at the moment, if you look, price is slowly kind of going sideways, but it's definitely going down. We've had a big, strong push up there, cleared out liquidity. So it makes sense that price is probably going to target this area. If you look down here, this was lower, this was lower, this. So my guess is price is probably going to get down here. So it does look like a spike in a channel at the moment. Trouble is, it really needs to pull up here before we can get in. At the moment, it's just struggling to get up because it's looking quite bearish. Trouble is, when it's looking bearish, it doesn't often get back up here to give us an entry. It just kind of drops, and the second it does push up and touch, it turns. So there's a few orders up here. I suppose if you're going to trade this, that's where you'd be selling, really. There's a few there, 71-ish, something like that, which is around about there. So yeah, that's probably where you want to be selling, really, isn't it? Thereabouts. That's where I think price will go. We just need a decent enough pullback. So it's going a bit sideways there. So you'd be thinking, yeah, probably take profits. So what I will say is one thing I've noticed. It sounds like a right little double bounce right there. Now, there are some orders that have come up here. This was all dark a bit ago. So is this enough to draw price up? So it's bound to be liquidity here. So that order up there is around about 87. That's quite high, that is. In fact, That's around about there. So with this move down, that same amount out of the top of this channel than the bottom, and that is right at the midline. So I wouldn't be shocked if price does go there. So if we look at that fib tool, I wouldn't be surprised if that plays apart somewhere. Yeah, it's close to that 50% level, isn't it? There'll be liquidity here, so I wouldn't be shocked if price comes up above here to this center line. And then, you know, come the end of the day, we may end up having something like that, which would fit at the bottom, wouldn't it? One leg up, two legs up to the center line here, close to that 50% level, and then maybe starting to work down again. So that's just speculation, really, but I call it an educated guess. At least it's based on some experience. So maybe that will turn out like that. I'll put it to the top. Maybe a little bit lower. Doesn't look terrible there, does it? I mean, we'll see anyway. We'll see what happens. See, I would just be cautious about trading it. Mind you, that looks okay. But my guess is there's going to be liquidity up there. So my guess is that's probably going to push up. At least temporarily. But that looks pretty nice. And we've had a break. So you probably expect it to make a new low, but I don't know at the moment. We may end up just being a bigger range. Might just be a bit of a range day, really. Who knows? Speedy, how you doing, buddy? Just get rid of this at the moment. So leg and a leg would get us more or less where we want to get to. This thing's going to continue down. How do I get from bricklayer to trader? I'll tell you, I'll give you a short version. When I was a bricklayer, I used to do something called matched betting. Now, it sounds like gambling, but it's not. But what it is, I'll give you a quick rundown. What it is there are a bunch of companies out there which supply the software to do it. So what it effectively is bookmakers in the UK, I'm guessing it's probably the same wherever you are, bookmakers, so Betfred, Coral, you know, Bet365, will say to you, as a new customer, bet £10 of your own money, we'll give you a £50 free bet. So what effectively you do is these companies, they're like a subscription service. You pay £20 a month. And what you basically do is you sign up to the bookmaker and you make the bet. Say £10 your own money for Liverpool to beat Man United 10-0 or whatever it is. Sorry if I've offended anyone there. And then what you do is you sign up to a betting exchange like Betfair, and you do something called lay the bet. So you bet against it. So basically one bet cancels the other. You don't win, you don't lose. Then you get the free bet, and then you use a different calculation. The subscription software says, bet this on that, bet that on that with your free bet. And typically every time you do this once, you make about 75 to 80% of the profit from the free bet. And then you move on to the next bookmakers. And I did that for 2 years. You don't make a huge amount. It's just a bit. But people think it's gambling when they hear it, matched betting, but it's not. It's just a process. So I made about £8,000 over a couple of years. It's tax-free as well in the UK because it's classed as gambling, although you're not gambling. Anything with a bookmaker. And after a couple of years, the bookmakers start to what they call gub you. They restrict any offers because they realise the only time you're making bets is when there's offers on. And at that time, I was in a couple of Facebook groups and people were talking about Betfair trading, so trading sports bets. And as soon as you type Betfair trading into a search engine on YouTube, trading comes out, and that's kind of where it started. One of the first videos I saw was by a guy called Andrew Lockwood, which was a British currency trader from the UK who trades from home in London. He worked and traded for big companies at the stock exchange during the 80s. And that's one thing led to another, and kind of here I am. But, I mean, for me, lockdown kind of first started things. And there you go. It's just sometimes in life you can never quite know what's around the corner. So, yeah, I used to work on site from around 7:30 to kind of 3:30, and then I used to come home and trade in the evening, or lose money in the evening, is for want of a better word. Yes, I have. Yeah, I was going to say something, actually. I put a little video out just so people know. But yeah, Apex have got an offer at the moment. It's 70% off, which is it's $55 or $50 odd for the evaluation. And if you pass it, the lifetime fee is a flat $40. Which is good. Now, that's assuming you pass the evaluation, but it's actually worked quite nice, isn't it? Channel down, channel break, new high. Lower high would have been a better option here, but that kind of played out. But yeah, it's a different offer. I don't think we've had anything quite like that. Yeah, so the trouble is, the one slightly annoying thing is, if it's for 3 days, what they're basically saying is you need to trade it aggressively. And I honestly, now, although I trade things aggressively, I don't condone it unless you know what you're doing. Now, I say that with tongue in cheek because I don't have very good success at trading aggressively. But what I will say is, if you've already got a PA, if you've already got an evaluation and you've had one for a week or so and you pass it, chances are it's only going to cost you $40. So if you wake up this morning and think, I passed my, evaluations on Friday and I'm going to go and pay me $140 fee or whatever it is, you might find you're only paying $40. So it's going to be good news for you. So, but yeah, it is kind of, yeah, it's a fantastic deal, but you got to pass it within 3 days. Now, usually they give you an extra day or two after, because on the last day, if you buy one, you can't pass it and go to PA till the following day. So you'll always usually get a second day. So I would much prefer the 90% off and pay a little bit more, purely and simply because if you're going to pass them in 3 days, you have to, trade them a little bit aggressively, and that can learn to some blown accounts. So I'd rather blow them at 90% off. So, it's not a bad offer. It's great news if you've already got an evaluation. But I don't know. Some people seem to pass evaluations pretty easily. I seem to have a nightmare with the damn things. Yeah, I wouldn't suggest that. I do, but I got to say, you can lose an account in the space of 1 bar. So I think if you're going to go aggressively, I'd probably be inclined to maybe trade 5 contracts and do it over a day or two. Depends if you're sensible or you're an idiot like me. But I wouldn't suggest doing my way. So that channel now, we've had a break and a new low. Now, would I want to go short here with a second entry short? Yeah, I would. And I'll tell you why. Because we've got a fair amount of orders down here, 65, 62 and 60. So my gut feeling is price is probably going to come down here. So if we get a second entry short in the right place, I'd have a go at that. In fact, let me get an order
submitted.
Now, I'm not trading all my accounts at the moment. I'm waiting for 3,000 in payments from Apex. It's a bit slow at the moment. So trouble is, see at 67.5, there's orders. So it may trigger you and push up a bit more. So you got to be a little. You see those 67. If it comes down now and ends up bearish and you take a short there, it may trigger you and push up. That's not to say that I don't think it's going to come down. You've just got to be a bit careful with buy orders there where you're expecting to get in short. Let's just move that out of the way a minute so I can see this chart. Yeah, I'm going to leave this.
Order cancelled.
So there is a second entry short there, but there are orders above price here. Now, they're not super strong. That's about where they are, 1.5 to 2. They're about there. So that might mean it may go up a bit. Having said that, they're not super strong. You can see them and they're starting to disappear. They 1 minute they go yellow, next minute. So we've not got a setup anyway, really. That's not terrible, but it's about 15 ticks. So at the moment, I'm just kind of sitting tight, but I think price will get down there. So I'd like to just see if we can get something else. Maybe a second leg. Yeah, I'm just slightly wary about. There are some there. 1 minute they're there, next minute they drop down a bit. So price could pop above here, giving us then technically 2 legs, or we could get a lower high. Just show you those things again. You can see them there. 1 minute they go yellow, next minute. So there are orders there, but just not very strong. So around about 72, which is there, which is a couple of ticks above that bearish bar. But there are more orders at 65, 63 and down here. So I still think price will come down. We just may get 2 legs here. Depends what happens here. All of a sudden, these orders could thicken up. See how there's a few more aggressive buyers here. So although you haven't got those strong orders there is a few buyers. Are you? No, I'm not, bud. No. No, I don't even know what it's all about. I know it's happened. I've heard of, people talking about it and stuff, but no, I haven't. So if I'd have taken that trade there, which is very tempting, let's see what I'd have got point-wise. So let's say I get in there. There's 2 points. In fact, there's a little bit less because if you take a tick off it, 1.75 points, you'd have got a 1.5. Now, I go down to the bottom. I'd be going for 3 points. So I believe that bearish bar is going to get stopped out, and it has done. So waiting there was a good decision there. And the reason I did that was because Bookmap was telling me there was some orders up here. Now, there still is, but I think the fact that price has pushed above there is a better option. And now we're looking like we got 2 legs. But I would like to see, yeah, I can see, I won't say who, but I saw a trade on Friday that I left alone, and I dragged the trader's chart in here that he took a trade, and he got stopped out. I won't show you who he is because that's unfair, but that's it there. So he's got his order down here, so he wouldn't have got triggered, so he'd have got stopped out there. And that's so that's 2 trades. That is, as I say, it's a better option. Facts, if we get a pullback here.
Order submitted.
I think that's okay. Price is going to come down to 60. That's a good strong pullback, I think, there. 2 legs up. There's going to be orders there, you can bet. I'm just going to go for
Order filled.
2 points there. Once it broke below there, we may get a pullback. So everything's out. So quick $200 times a bunch of accounts. So I like that. Much better there. That one I wasn't so sure, but as we push strong down, you're going to get orders. It's probably going to work, but sometimes I'm thinking I got a guaranteed 2 points once it's broke below there, but it did work in the end. So perhaps I should have just held on, but I went for 2 points. I did what but do you see what I mean about that patience bit there? If I'd have got in there, it would have stopped me out for a couple of ticks. So why didn't I take that second entry short? Because there's orders above there. And I could see them. They weren't super strong, but when price started climbing up, I saw aggressive buyers coming in, which telling me the aggressive buyers are pushing up, which is making price go up. And there's orders up here. And what happened? It did exactly what I thought it may do. So that would have saved me a loss, and a trade on Friday would have saved me a loss. So just by looking at Bookmap, saved me 2 losses. And if I'd have lost there, I doubt I'd have taken a trade there, because that would have knocked my confidence a bit. But it just goes to show that if you watch Bookmap enough, it starts to give you little indications. And that's a good strong bar there. We've clearly got 2 legs up now. It does give you indications of what it's going to do. So if you can use what you're seeing on Bookmap and what you're seeing here, it'll keep you out of bad trades and give you the confidence then to get into a trade. On the EMS, I took them. They worked for 2 points. Yeah. Now, I took 2 points there. I took 2 points on Friday. I should have took 3, really. But I still have this issue when I get into a trade. I kind of want to get out of it. But once my accounts grow a little bit more and the bank balance is looking, I mean, look how well that worked. Leg down, 2 attempts up. I could have held on for a lot more there, to be honest with you. So, I mean, look at that. Certainly 10 points quite easy. That would have been a lot nicer. Instead of 200 account, I could have potentially looked at a 1,000 account. It's too good on my chart. Yeah, you can clearly see there's 2 legs up. But if you look on here, I understand why traders would have taken that. Because it is a second entry short. But Bookmap, seeing those orders up there, just gave me that little hint that I should sit back here. I actually thought it was going to work, but I will say it saved me quite a few times. So I wish Apex would hurry up and approve my payment so I could have traded them. There's another couple of $100 per 3 accounts I could have had there. So it's 2 legs up, really. You could probably call it a second entry short, but I don't think it really matters. Technically it is. It's 2 legs up. And then you got a nice big bearish bar there. So it looks nice. The trouble is, when you don't know it's going to do that, it's very easy to get your points and get out. But when it does, that's hindsight, isn't it? We don't have that. So when you see a chart later on and you come back and mark it, you'll go, yeah, if you'd have took that one, that's probably all you needed for the day. But you don't know that's going to happen, and that's the trouble with trading. See, we're kind of dealing with the unknown. We kind of know we got a relatively good entry, but we don't know how far it's going to go. But the fact that we had 2 pushes up, and the fact that pushed down strong, tells me that a lot of traders got in there at that area, and down it came. But once it broke below there, I kind of just thought that's where I expected it to stop out. Whether it was going to come down any lower, but so I just, there we go. Just kind of did it, but it's a quick 2 points. So I'm only trading 7 accounts at the moment. But that's $1,400 minus fees. So you don't need a huge amount of money in it, to make a good living, really. So let's just put 2 points in there. Plus 2 points. Yeah, see, if I'd have taken the 3.73 Saturday, I'd have been up another $200. I'd have been up another $2,000. It's one of those things, isn't it? If I had 10 accounts or 20 accounts with $10,000 in, I'd have quite likely held on there. I think if you get good setups, then sometimes it's worth bringing your profit down here and see if you can capitalize. The fact that we had a channel here with a break and a new low, chances are I think we were going to come down to at least 60 anyway. We know we had orders at 60, so I could have possibly tried to hold on to 60, and then, I don't think it's a bad idea to follow each bar down, in which case I'd have got taken out there, but you got about 9 points on the runner. Good on you, mate. See, sometimes I wish I had a little bit more confidence when it comes to holding trades. I think my skill in trading is okay. I think that, I can trade well enough to make I know I can trade enough to make money, but when we get a good setup, what lacks me is the confidence to hold on to them. Which is another reason why I don't like runners. I like to get in and out because I just, like everyone, when we get into a trade, there's always that little level of apprehension that climbs a little bit, isn't there? But that was a nice setup there. Channel down, clearly 2 legs up. Nice big bearish bar. Always good that it clears out any liquidity. And then good strong move down. So it looks nice and clear and nice and strong. So, you do that once a day. Even if you do that 3 times a week, you make yourself a stack of money. What time is it? I'm going to finish early today, see. I feel a bit tired today. Now I've taken a trade. Chances are, in fact, I'm going to finish now. I've not been sleeping very well lately. I reckon I had 4 hours at a push last night. So my wife did say to me, "Are you sure you want to trade today?" But now I've traded and I've taken a trade, I'm quite happy. I can make a lot more than however I will lose 10 times more account. So better trade. So there's so many different ways to trade, but I wouldn't say people are better than others. People have different ways of doing stuff. Now, another kind of myth is people, I've had people saying to me, "What's your win rate? What's your win rate?" I wouldn't even entertain your strategy until I know what your win rate is. Your win rate is irrelevant because if like me, I kind of like to go for 1-to-1, then a 70% win rate is going to make you money. Now, if you risk 1 to make 4 and you win 40%, which is a lot less percentage-wise, you're more profitable. So it's really the percentage you win wise are irrelevant. Really, it's more important how much you win. I've heard professional traders say what makes great traders stand out is they get out of poor trades and they milk the good trades for everything they can. See, my answer to that is if I'd have held there for my 3 points and price came and stopped me out, I'd have lost 4 points when I could have guaranteed 2. So how many times is it going to push to where I think it is as opposed to coming back and stopping me out? I think all I need to do is just think if it's a really solid setup, then hold on a bit. You know what I mean? I've always been very, what's the word? I've always changed my mind a lot. What's the word for it? Moron? That might be. But I've always, what's the word? I always seem to change my mind about stuff. I can't tell you how many times I've gone for 1 contract and then 2 and then 1 and then I'm going to do this and I'm going to, so I just, get the word I'm looking for. Not argumentative, is it? Just, I don't know. I've always changed my mind about stuff. 1 minute I'm doing this, next minute I'm doing that. But there you go. But I think what's helping me now more than helped me last year is I'm less driven by my emotions. A lot of the time, I would get very impulsive, and I'd see something, and boom, I'd hit the button before my brain is really had time to kind of compute what's going on. You know, you see something and you act impulsively, and before you know it, you're in and you're out. And I'm thinking, why don't I give it a bit of, why don't I give it a second? But it does get better after a time. You know, you're less run by your emotions, and you can more sit patiently and wait for something, and then just go for it. So that's helping me. I get less silly losses than I used to. And the only thing really that has changed for me is just time. I've been doing it longer. The more you do it, the more emotions. So, quick example here. There's going to be traders thinking, second entry short there. So I'm looking at Bookmap and seeing a stack of orders at 57 up here. So I wouldn't be considering taking a short, although there is quite some down there. But in fact, forget I said that, there's equal amounts. But while there's orders up there, I would be staying out of this. 57. About 57 and a half, isn't it? Yeah, about 57 and a half. I would be staying out of that because, having said that, there is a fair amount of orders down here at about 875, which is, no, it's not a lie. It's about 850, is it? Just above 850, so it's around about there. So going short there, there's equal amounts of, I'd have still stayed out of it anyway. While there's sellers up here, I'd hope there was buyers down there, because that's where I'd be going. But there you go. Say second entry short. Another one I'd have stayed out because I saw strong sellers there. So, if you can save yourself some losses, that'll change, your whole kind of win percentage. But this does help. I can't tell you enough. But, I've tried this. I've messed around with this on and off for a couple of years. It's only maybe the last couple of months I think I've paid a little bit more attention to it. I just watch it and I see, I compare, and I'm thinking every time, if I have a loss here, there's sellers up here, perhaps next time I should leave it. And then, you slowly learn, because I've looked at this in the past, and I've really had to think to myself, does it really help me? But, straight away, that one second entry short, one earlier on this, on the other chart, one on Friday. So forgetting that one, there's at least two trades, two losses I'd have had. So it is helping me. But on that note, I feel like I'm talking a lot today, so I think I'm babbling, but I am a bit tired. I've been knocking coffee down me, so now I'm up nicely for the day. I think it's a good time to go and finish early today. So I'm going to leave you guys to it. So best of luck to you. I hope you get a decent day. Keep it in mind, if you ever have questions, you can always message me on Facebook Messenger. I'm always up for a chat. I'm happy to talk trading. So if something's on your mind or whatever, feel free. Wise man. I'm just old, mate. That's what I'm 56 now. So I'm old in the tooth. When you've been married as long as I am, you get wise. I was going to take that double trap there, but Matt kept me out. That's what I mean. There's one saying I love in trading. There are no guarantees, but there's one guarantee, is if you're not short and you leave it, you're guaranteed not to lose any money. And that's important, but it does help you. But just for now, have a look at it and just try and compare. I mean, you've got to pay attention to what you're doing, but if you're thinking of going short here, just have a glance at it. And if you see strong sellers above, ask yourself a question. Am I the smart one and they're all going to be left hanging waiting for a short? Or are they smarter than I am? Now, if there's a large amount of them, then chances are, if there's a lot of people wanting to sell here and you're thinking about selling, yet, then just hold back and see what happens. Age experience, absolutely, ages experience. But there you go. But yeah, just you never quite know what may help in trading. You know, as I say, I've had it and then I've got rid of it and had it and got rid of it, and now I just think it's actually saving me some money, and I just use it the free version. I say version, it's just playing live on YouTube. You can download it and you can adjust all this. You know, all these areas, you can make them darker. You can actually fade out these as well if you want to, you know, focus too much. But I think it's about $39 a month if you want to buy it. But, you know, I don't need real time. I can wait 3, 4, 5 seconds. If I'm looking for a short and there's orders up here, it's not going to take 2 seconds to get to them. It's going to take a little bit more. So, you know, I won't worry about it. But I'm going to leave you folks to it. I've babbled on a bit today. So best of luck to you. I hope you get a setup. I'll be back tomorrow. Have a great evening. Stay safe. And we'll do it all again tomorrow. Bye for now.